Testing 1 2. Good morning, guys. We are October the 3rd, Monday. I am back after taking a couple days off from streaming. Decided that it would be best to kind of trade on my own, go back to the drawing board, mentally reset. After blowing up the funded accounts, you guys could see that blow up live on Wednesday. And so Thursday, Friday, I decided to kind of take a step back from the streams and just mentally reset, as was suggested by one of our viewers, Mark. Thank you for that. So we're back. What ended up happening on Thursday, Friday offline was that I took 2 more evaluation tests with Apex, because when you blow out a funded account, what they do is they would send you an 80% coupon code, um, for the blowouts. So obviously I took those 80% coupon codes, and I used the PCE News event on Friday, I believe, to just essentially pass. So I pretty much passed those 2 accounts within 2 days. And now it's just about taking the necessary 1 trade a day for 10 days, or rather 8 more days, before I get funded fully with Apex again. Um, so there's that. But what we're going to be doing today is we have the Leeloo account. I wanted to add more accounts actually, because they had an 85% coupon code for Leeloo as well. But I forgot, or I essentially wasn't necessarily too interested in having 2 accounts, 2 different funded accounts with different companies, because it's just it's a bit more difficult to trade, because you can't copy your trades between Apex and Leeloo. So if you have multiple accounts with Apex, you can copy those trades. But if you have multiple accounts with Apex and multiple accounts with Leeloo, you're gonna have to trade one of those only. And so, I felt that I was kind of neglecting my Leeloo, so I said, you know what, I still have this one Leeloo account that I could still be trading. And so, I didn't want to add more onto it. So we could still get funded with Leeloo. We have a few more days before we reach our 10-day target, but I also have a few more. I think I have. Let's see here. What do I have? Just to show you guys, I am up $1,178 on that account, and we need to reach $3,000 of profit target. So we do have quite a ways to go on this one. So I'll be trading this account for the foreseeable future, up until we get funded, or up until we pass that 10-day rule with Apex, because we already passed the Apex accounts. Again, I was focused more on the Apex than I was on the Leeloo. So Nasdaq broke 11K overnight. Now we're rallying a little bit. I do think typically what I do tend to see is that moves that happen overnight, when they get reversed, um, they typically, it's kind of like those things where it's like the US session was upset that they weren't the ones to break 11K. So you kind of get this rally overnight. You get this rally in the US session a little bit, and then whenever there's the opportunity to go short, the US session typically likes to short that rally. So we're not going to be going long. We're going to be looking to short these rallies, and actually um, sticking to the plan here, right? Creating this consolidation box. A good area to short would be anywhere between 70 and 89. So we are coming up to that point, actually. What happened here? Okie dokie, there you go. I understand now. 80 would be the perfect area to go short, to be fair. think because that's midpoint of this, but it's not the most accurate midpoint if you think about it. But this is where you get the most bounces around here. So maybe this is, yeah. You can also do it from here. So technically speaking, we're gonna go in with size, guys. I'm not we should go in with size and limit our trades. Because when you have a trade idea, you should go in with your size, take your ticks, and then that one trade could literally make your whole day, right? But what I noticed with me is I'm not good at trading with small size because I could take a really good trade. I could take a really good trade and still feel like it wasn't a good trade simply because of the money that came out of that trade, which granted is not the right mentality to have, but I can't avoid it. It's just kind of in my nature. So we expect there to be I'm not necessarily saying a full-on reversal from here, but I do expect a little bit of some price action to come for the price to actually curl back down, maybe get in between this range here, if not continue lower. What we don't expect is we don't expect price to rally back up. So we need to be very careful with how we manage this trade. What ended up happening? What are some good levels? 11,145 is a pretty good level. Where did we close off at on Friday? We closed off at 1140. Now we are back above 1140. We tested 11,100 and well, we did test 11,140 here, or 135 rather. Right? So after this sell-off, do we expect to make a higher high? Don't know. Don't think so. I personally don't think so. But we are going to continue to short every rally. It's this is the daily, right? We're back below 140 here on the daily, this consolidation zone, which was the range of last week, right? We ranged last week and we broke that range. We broke that low. So the market clearly does want to go down. Let's take a look at the hourly. Yeah, so last week's range was at 1124. We broke that. We're back within last week's range. But I think the highest we would go today would be 11,180 because that is value area low, right? And so if if the market wants to create value lower, we don't want to go back within that area. I should put my stop here. Totally should put my stop there. We're gonna martingale this shit. I'm only okay doing this because we're clearly in a bearish market. If I was long, or yeah, if I was long and I saw the market go against me, then there was no way I would be doing this. Absolutely no way. But if the account can weather the storm, then I would do it. If I had a very small account, I wouldn't be doing this. So it really depends on the account. So like 1170, 1180 would be that next zone of major resistance where I don't expect us to go over. However, what I am trying to get out of this trade is at the very least a scratch from this trade so that I can get out, and if we do continue to rally higher, um, you know, I can look to short at a better price. But right now I'm expecting a slight sell-off at the very least, if not a full reversal, simply because, again, we are in a very bearish market. I mean, the market did break 11K. Now we're just kind of rallying as a relief or as a take profit, and the market will be back down there, hopefully today. ES is looking quite strong compared to Nasdaq. It would be good to break this right here. I think we have ISM manufacturing coming out pretty soon, so we got to be careful about that. We got ISM manufacturing coming out in 10 minutes. Let's see if we can go flat for that. Take some off here. Not bad. I'm okay with this. Kind of de-risk a little bit. See if we can get off the rest somewhere down here on 80. With ISM coming in, I don't think market wants to buy. $11.90 is my target right now for this one. It's looking weak, although it could pick up here at 95. So we should get out a little bit earlier. Come on, make a lower low from this. Make a lower low. Go go below 1100, 11100. Fantastic. There you go. Take some off. Make a lower low if you can. Keep going. All right, that's great. We literally just scratched that trade. We scratched that trade. We're going to go flat before ISM comes out in 7 minutes. So we have a strategy for ISM actually. So what is ISM manufacturing expected at? It is expected at 52.3. Let me double check. I think if I have it here in my notes. So ISM manufacturing is forecasted at 52.3. However, okay, but the Chicago PMI number came in at 45.7 from an expected 51.8. So that was an actual disaster for that. But let me check this one again. So essentially the real expected for ISM today will be more like 49.9 and not necessarily 52.3, right? Let's just kind of go around that. The new orders was at 51.3. Employment was 54.2 and prices paid was 52.5. So what our strategy is going to be, if we get a lower than expected ISM but the prices paid is higher and that stocks rally, we're going to sell this rally in stocks. If the bonds rally, you're going to be selling the rally in bonds. If we get a lower than expected ISM, if we get a lower than expected ISM and prices paid is lower, we're going to buy the stocks, and we're eventually going to sell this as it's not really going to matter or change anything for the Fed. If we get a higher than expected ISM and prices paid is higher than expected, we're going to sell stocks very hard. If we get a higher expected ISM and prices paid is lower, we're going to do nothing, or we're just going to sell the extremes, or we're going to sell whatever happens. Let's write this down. HTX is higher than expected. So if we get a lower than expected ISM, but prices paid is higher, and if stocks rally, sell stocks, so sell Nasdaq essentially, or ES, right? So sell equities. If LTX ISM and prices paid is lower, sell rally eventually, sell rally in stocks as well. It'll rally for a little bit, but you sell that rally. If higher than expected ISM and prices paid, sell equities outright, right? So you're just going to sell it hard outright. If higher than expected ISM and prices paid lower than expected, no trade. No trade or sell the extremes back to P1 because it just won't matter. All right, so we're gonna have this somewhere. Can you guys see this? I will move this here so that we can keep this. All right, 2 minutes. So again, so we are expecting a 52.3 in ISM, but because the Chicago PMI came in really, really low, we already expect a very negative number for ISM. So let's consider that the real expected for ISM right now because of the Chicago PMI is more like 50, 49.9 to 50, especially because of all the negative sentiment that we're having right now around these macro datas. So the best scenarios are if we get both a higher than expected ISM and a higher than expected prices paid. And then the second best scenario would be if we get a lower than expected ISM, but the prices paid is higher. So we have a higher than expected ISM and we have a lower than expected prices paid. So we're just going to sell this rally in stocks. See if we can get some fills up here. Just sell this rally in stocks. Besides, we shouldn't go above 80. So we can have some orders up here. But I don't think these are going to get filled. These are like just orders that we're going to put up here just for the sake of it. If we get filled, great. Essentially, every strategy is sell the rally in stocks or sell it outright. So even though like ISM came in higher than it, or well, like we said, 50 or 49.9 was the true expected for ISM because of Chicago PMI numbers coming in extremely, extremely low. We already expected this. If this can't rally from here, this is just going to go down back to P1, back to 90. I think back to 90. What time did this, when did this come out? Where were we at 10 a.m.? We were at 72. Okay. At around 10 a.m. we were here. At around 90, exactly. We were around 90 at 10 a.m. The only thing is that this is probably going to squeeze out a bunch of people from here. A bunch of shorts are going to get squeezed, but I think it's a sell. $50 will get taken out. We have some sell orders here, some sell orders here. Where are we truly, truly, truly wrong? I guess if we blow past 85, really. It's we again, we don't want to go above last week's value area. We're going in hard on this. If it works, it works. The only thing is that like, we never know how long this can rally for, and that's the worst part. Actually, let's remove this. Creating a nice little P shape. So if we go back down below 60, it's lights out, I think. Also notice we haven't really created any imbalances on the way up. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Even if I go into a, let's see if we go into an 8 PNF. No imbalances on the way up. Was it a 1 to 10 or a 10 to 1 PNF that I was having? Shoot. Hold on. Now I'm confused. Yeah, 1 to 10. See, on a 1 to 8 PNF, even on a shorter PNF, there are no imbalances on the way up. More likely imbalances on the way down, and we kind of started selling off at this 170 area here. So let's go back to 1 to 10 PNF. What is the ATR today? 32. 1 to 10 is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I am all right with this. So we still have our strategy over here. Let's keep that. As for anybody joining us, I'll remove it soon. We should go back down to P1 if not more. So we should go back down to 90. Watch out for the 50%. You can have a lot of buyers here at 50% just because 50% is typically after a news event. People love to buy at 50%. We're cool, we're calm, we're collected. We do not get stressed. I don't get stressed easily anyway. Can we get in? Yeah. No, you get a lot of late buyers that come in over here. This is very dangerous for buyers, if I'm being honest. Especially after this massive rally. Getting a lot of late buyers up here is can't be too good. This rallied on very low volume. Very low liquidity around here. It just rallied for on nothing. The moment you come into some liquidity, this can get vulnerable very quickly. Back down to POC, back down to 90 is the trade, and then that's it. So this is very similar to the P-shaped profile that we typically like to go long in, actually. But technical isn't everything when fundamentals are behind in play, right? So let's say we're doing a 5-minute profile, sorry, a 5-minute footprint. This is exactly what you want to see, right? Like, for sure. Some volume being built, but the fact that there's volume over here kind of leads me to believe that we can very easily break 52 and reach 30. So we are selling rallies outright. I am going to remove this notepad over here. You guys know already what we're doing, what the plan is. right? We like to see this, right? Your stop loss could be here for a continuation higher, but then you have this, right? So now you have two areas of interest, one here, and now you have a large area of interest over here. You can put your stop below here, but the thing is because there's a lot of orders here, is that there's still a lot of interest to trade down here. So very possibly we can push back down within this area, and once you push back down within this area, these guys start to unwind, and we go lower and lower and lower, right? Because technically these guys, what these guys are waiting for, right? What guys that have gone inside here, what they're waiting for is they're clearly waiting for a push up. And if they're not getting it, right? They have trailing stops over here. They have stop losses over here at their scratch. They have stop losses down here. This can go down very, 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 very quickly. Because these guys are surely not taking profit right now, which means their orders are still open. If I went long here, my orders are still open. I'm expecting a move higher. And when I don't get a move higher, I start to sweat. And we know people necessarily, they don't necessarily want to put trailing stops here because it's not that, there's no payout, right? This is not a very big payout. So people will put, if you're smart, you'll put your stop loss either at scratch or you'll put your stop loss somewhere down here. But we know traders, what they do is they like to hold. They love to fucking hold. And so as we get down here, they start to sweat, right? So what I expect to happen today is if we come back below this, okay, come back down, any type of rally, especially around here, will get sold into because these open orders are going to want to punch out, especially these orders are going to want to punch out. They'll punch out somewhere here and then we continue further. So the trade idea seems to be working for now. We are dipping, right? But no, we are kind of coming off. We want to give away more than 50% of this move. That would be a very good indication. Because if we can't even buy back at 50%, it's very dangerous. So 37 is at 50% fib. Fib retracements are very, very good on, especially on news events. Got to bounce off the 50. No worries. Bounce off the 50 is normal. Very normal. Everybody wants to bounce off the 50s. Bounce off the 50s. Smart money brings in dumb retail traders who think, oh, we're rallying off the 50. Let me start to buy this. And then we sell off harder. We shouldn't make higher highs off of this, guys. My stop loss will be above 80, 83. We should not make higher highs off of this. What does concern me is the number of attempts that we try to make to make higher highs, right? Every single one of these dips are being bought. Especially considering that ES did make a higher high, right? So is Nasdaq lagging behind, or is Nasdaq actually does Nasdaq know something that ES doesn't? So there's a little bit of a divergence here. Either Nasdaq is going to catch up and shoot up above its previous high of 183, which I think is what Nasdaq is trying to do based on where ES is at currently. But if not, then this could get nasty for buyers to the downside. It can get nasty for both parties depending on what happens. Above 185, bad news. Below 136, bad news, depending on which side of the coin you're on. So very, very, very clear from this. We could potentially head fake though, right? This because this is so obvious, right? We could potentially try to make a higher high and then curl right back down for a very aggressive sell-off. That's a bummer. All right, well, that's it for me today. Clearly, this trade I did didn't work out. Shouldn't have happened, but it did, and we got stopped out. So yeah, there's not much more else to do. I don't want to overtrade here. We still have the other accounts again. We still have this account. Um, so I'm gonna call it today. I typically, yeah, once I take this loss, I don't want to overtrade. I don't want to continue try to making back my loss. Let's take the L. Let's move on. We come back tomorrow. That being said, maybe the technicals did end up working out today more than the fundamentals. Um, but rest assured that this is still a market that each rally needs to be shorted into. So the next area to short would be 255. That would be a very good area to short. Anything else, I don't see. So take it easy, guys. I wish you guys a great rest of your day, and hope to see you all tomorrow.